Healing from a narcissistic parent isn't about fixing what they did. It's about untangling from who you became because of it and choosing who you want to be instead. If you've been watching this series, you already know the signs, you understand why boundaries feel impossible, and you know how growing up in that environment shapes your adult relationships. Today we're talking about what actually helps, not just forgive and move on. Real, practical steps that you can start to implement right now. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear starting point for your healing, because that's usually the hardest part, knowing where to begin. Before we get into the steps, I want to reframe what healing actually means, because a lot of people have the wrong idea about it. Healing does not mean that you forget the effects of what happened. Healing doesn't mean you stop feeling the effects of what happened to you. It doesn't mean that you forgive or forget. And it doesn't mean that you have to have a relationship with your parent. And it also does not mean that you have to try to resolve things with them. Healing means that you stop letting what happened to you then control what happens to you now. That's it. That's the goal. The first step is the simplest and yet the hardest at the same time, and that's naming what happened. You're not minimizing it, you're not making excuses for it, and you're not saying that they did their best before you even try to allow yourself to acknowledge the impact that this had on you. Just naming it. I grew up with a narcissistic parent and it affected me. The ways that I show up in my relationships today are the result of that. There's something so powerful about saying it out loud or writing it down. It gives context to patterns that probably felt so random, or maybe they felt like personal failures for years. There's nothing wrong with you. You were just shaped by your upbringing in a difficult environment. Those are two completely different things. Step 2 is to separate their voice from yours. One of the most damaging things a narcissistic parent leaves behind is their critical voice inside your head. The one that tells you that you're not good enough, you're too much, you're going to fail, you don't deserve good things. That voice might feel like yours, but it isn't, it's theirs. Start noticing when that voice shows up, and when it shows up, I want you to ask yourself, is this actually true? Or is this something that I was taught to believe about myself? You don't have to silence it immediately. You just need to create distance between yourself and it. You're not your inner critic. You're the person who is noticing it. Step 3, grieve the parent that you didn't get. This is the step that most people skip, and it's one of the most important steps. You didn't get the parent that you needed. You got conditional love. You didn't get emotional safety or someone who made you feel that it was easy to love you just the way that you were. That's a real loss, and it deserves to be grieved. A lot of people resist this grieving because it feels like you're giving up on the fact that you're giving up on the hope that things can change. But grieving isn't giving up. It's about accepting reality so that you can stop expecting something that isn't going to happen, and you can start building what you actually need for yourself. Let yourself feel the sadness of it. This isn't a failure. It's about you being honest. Step 4, reparent yourself. Reparenting is the process of giving yourself what you didn't receive as a child. It starts with how you talk to yourself and how you treat yourself. It looks like speaking to yourself with kindness instead of criticism, setting limits with the people who drain you, allowing yourself to rest without feeling guilty, celebrating your wins instead of immediately moving the goalpost. It sounds simple, but if you grew up in that environment, then these things feel so unnatural to you, especially at first because they were never modeled for you before. Start small, just one act of compassion a day. One moment where you choose yourself, one moment where you say no to something that drains you, one moment where you say yes to the thing that lights you up inside. That's reparenting. If you're someone who walks away from a stressful interaction and you just can't stop replaying it in your head, you're tense, you can't sleep, and you're carrying around all that tension with you in your body, my emotional reset guide is exactly what you need. I made this just for you, and it walks you through how to calm your body after those stressful interactions so you're not carrying around that weight and discomfort with you throughout your day. It also has some practical scripts that you can use if you would like, so you can prepare yourself for the next time. The link is in the description, and remember, it's completely free, so go grab it now. Step 5. Step 5, break the pattern of your current relationships. Healing isn't just the internal work, it's also how it shows up in your relationships. And this is the part where it gets real. The patterns you learn, like the people pleasing, tolerating mistreatment, seeking validation, freezing when you need to speak up, all these things show up in your everyday life with the people that you surround yourself with. Breaking the pattern means noticing when you're about to slip into those old behavior patterns and start choosing differently. Even once, even if it's scary, even if it's imperfect, even if your voice shakes. It means using your voice when you otherwise would have gone silent. It means letting someone be disappointed in you without falling apart. It means recognizing the red flag instead of explaining it away. Every time you do these things, you are rewiring the pattern. It doesn't happen overnight, but it does compound. Over time, the small daily actions that you take, they'll start to add up. And that is what gives you the momentum and creates the change that lasts. And if you're ready to go deeper, if you're tired of freezing in the moment and not knowing what to say, I have a resource called the Freeze Recovery Response Kit. It breaks down why you freeze, how to calm yourself in the moment, then gives you actual word-for-word scripts you can use in any situation. At work, in your relationships, with your family, with your friends. Things like what to say when someone guilt trips you, or when someone makes a passive-aggressive comment, or what to say when something upsets you, but you don't realize it in the moment until after you're reflecting, you're looking back and you realize that, hey, this is something I wanted to mention. It gives you words for situations just like those. The link is in the description. Step 6 is to get support. You don't have to do this alone. In fact, trying to do it alone is one of the things that makes healing slow down the most. Support looks different for everyone. It might be therapy, and if you can access it, trauma-informed therapy is just the right thing for this kind of healing. For others, it might be a trusted friend who gets it. It might be a community of people who have lived the same experience as you. Let me tell you what support isn't. Support isn't isolating yourself while you attempt to knuckle your way through it. You were taught that your needs don't matter and that asking for help is a sign of weakness. Reaching out and asking for help is one of the first ways that you can start to unlearn this pattern. Healing from a narcissistic parent is one of the hardest things that you will ever have to do. Not because there's anything wrong with you, but because you're finally starting to heal from something that started way before you even had the words to explain it. But you're already doing that. You're here. The fact that you're here, the fact that you're watching this, trying to understand yourself better, that is healing. Don't discount that. If this series has been helpful for you, please subscribe because I'm going to keep making content that explains patterns just like this. And if you want more of this every single day, more talk about toxic patterns, scripts you can actually use, emotional manipulation, setting boundaries, follow me on Instagram. I post content there that you won't find anywhere else. The handle is in the description, so check it out below. I'm going to keep making content that will expose these patterns and help you to break them. My free emotional reset guide is linked below for those moments when you need to calm your body after stressful interactions. My freeze response recovery kit has word-for-word scripts for the moments when you already know what you want to say but the words just won't come out. Comment below and tell me, where are you in your healing journey right now? I read every single comment, and I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.